Welcome to Smithville Chamber Chatter, coming to you from historic Smithville, Texas. We're here to talk about all things Smithville, including upcoming events, updates and tips for and about local businesses, important news, election updates, and more. Brought to you by the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce, I'm your host, April Daniels. Welcome to our podcast. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Smithville Chamber Chatter with your host, April Daniels. We are excited to be continuing our Chamber Chatter podcast, sponsored by the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce. Our guests today are Adina Lewis with the Bastrop County Tourism and Economic Development, Becky Womble with the Bastrop Chamber of Commerce, and Gina Carter with the Elgin Chamber of Commerce. And of course, me, your host, April Daniels, with the Smithville Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for joining us today on our podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all for being here. I'm going to ask each of you to tell our listeners a little bit about your organization. And since we're here today to discuss business resiliency and recovery during the time of the coronavirus, tell our listeners what you've been doing in your communities as you work to address the challenges we're all currently facing. Adina, we'll start with you.
Hi, well, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this group today. I am an employee of Bastrop County, so I work for everybody in the county. My program manages the hot funds that are created when visitors stay overnight in our lodging properties. And then I'm also charged with helping with the economic development for Bastrop County. It's been a tough challenge for all of us. I look at the pretty green outside and think how surreal it is that we have so many issues that people are dealing with right now, tough issues. But the one thing we know in Bastrop County is that we're resilient. And I want to commend the chambers for the work that they've been doing, to pull together resources. We've all been working to pull together resources to help. Our banks have been amazing in what they have been trying to do to help our business partners. And of course, I have to commend the folks with Bastrop County Joint OEM, the folks that have been managing the safety, making tough decisions, trying to manage our safety and our economic future simultaneously. So it's been a challenge. But the team has worked beautifully together, and we're moving forward.
Thank you, Adina. Becky?
Well, I'm here at the Bastrop Chamber of Commerce, and I can tell you that we've been working tirelessly for our membership, trying to disseminate information, give them resources, and just provide support to our business community, as I know you guys are at the Smithville and Elgin Chambers right now, because we talk daily about what we're trying to do for our membership. So there's so much information when it comes to SBA and PPP loans, and a lot to decipher. And I've sat through enough webinars that I feel like I could be a banker once this is all over. But we're trying to get that information out to our business community each and every day. Our chamber is also pushing out our local Bastrop EDC COVID-19 relief grant information. First round was awarded last week, and there's going to be a second round in May. Should know after tonight's BEDC meeting when that next deadline is for those grants. We're spending lots of time pushing out information about the judge's orders. Sometimes there's a lot of questions with our business community and how to answer those questions, or how to answer those orders, and let our business community understand how to effectively abide by those. So we spend a lot of time doing that and trying to give them tools such as signage so that they can, enforce those orders. Here we've launched a resource page, and we're posting on our social media daily, again, resources and updates as they become available. One of the best things we found early on that our business community was kind of getting bombarded with SBA and PPP information, and so they needed some words of encouragement. And so after the last 10 to 12 days, my board has every day posted a video with just words of encouragement. So we're getting lots of great engagement on that, and it's really, I think, lifting the spirits of our business community. And then as we kind of get through this initial phase of this disaster, we are trying to shift into a restore and a restart and rebound so that we can recover. So just know that your chamber and all of our counties are here daily working for you, trying to make sure that we come out of this disaster.
Thank you, Becky. Gina?
Well, I just echo what Adina and Becky has said. First, thanks for letting us be part of this conversation. I think we all are united that we are part of a great community, a great county, and we're all just working together. And, you know, our priority right now for us at the Chamber, we're just trying to reach out to our members and those businesses and community members. And like Becky said, just get the information out. It's just, you know, it's challenging times. We, like everybody else, are working remotely. We're not in our office. It's just, you know, it's difficult, but I just can't stress enough how much we are here for our members. You know, at the very beginning, we started right off calling each of our members and reaching out to them. And it became very clear very quickly that it wasn't just going to be a quick conversation of just asking how you're doing. It became more than that, and not only just giving information, but sometimes just a shoulder to cry on, to be honest. And so all these things we're doing, I think just the bottom line is that we are here for our members and just doing all we can to be supportive of not only just our members, but as we've said, our whole community, whether it's a business that maybe not a member of our chamber, but they're a big part of our community, as well as those nonprofit groups, and reaching out to get those resources out as well, and how we can spread that message is also working with our school district. All of those things, just a source of communication.
Thank you, Gina. And I certainly echo what you and Becky have said, as well as Adina. Here, speaking on behalf of the Smithville Chamber of Commerce, we've been hard at work for our members and for our community as well. We put up an online shopping guide called shopinsmithville.com. We have been, of course, updating our website with resources available to our members. We've done countless Facebook posts, as I'm sure you've all seen. We've been doing an active gift card giveaway where we purchased gift cards from participating retail and restaurants. We've also, of course, been putting up our Working Together While We're Apart tips on our Facebook page. We have signs and banners up all over town, making sure people know to shop locally. And we have helped with many of our members who have tried to and successfully applied for the SBA EIDL loans and the PPP loans and grants. And of course, we're very excited to be doing our Chamber Chatter podcast. So we're excited to be doing that and doing everything that we can. We also, we're very happy to step in and sponsor a big banner program for our graduates. There'll be 115 graduate banners along our Main Street awnings by next week, and we'll keep those up through graduation. So anything we can do that's positive and uplifting for our community, we are happy and excited to be doing that, as I know that sentiment would be echoed by all of our panel that's here today. I'm going to ask you all to talk about something that's really hard and really hurts all of our local businesses. They're suffering right now. Retail sales are severely curtailed, with many stores closed completely. We do hope, of course, on Friday with the new governor's order to have some retail stores open back up for curbside or pickup delivery. But many of our restaurants are restricted to takeout, curbside, and delivery now. What would you say to your businesses that you all represent? Adina, we'll start with you.
Well, I think the most important thing is to pull together all those resources that you have, to understand that you're not in this alone, and that your survival mentally, physically, and economically matters to all of us. And I think people are scrambling to try to figure out how to do this, but you have to take those baby steps. You have to do everything that you can possibly do. I think some of these programs that have been established, I think the monies have been slow in coming, but apply for them. Talk to your bankers, apply for these programs, because there are programs that may in fact be of help to you. Be smart in what you're doing. When you get some of these funds, plan for your future. Be smart about how you're using those resources that are available to you. Certainly these chambers are all there for you. We're all here for you. And just don't think you're in this by yourself. There's going to be a new normal. We don't know what it's going to look like, but we hope every door that's been open for business in Bastrop County figures out how to survive this time and to be there when we can come and see you again. So figure your system out. Just try your very best to use those resources and move forward, not backward.
Thank you, Adina. Becky?
First, I would say just as a county and a country as a whole, we've got to buckle down to stop the spread of COVID-19 so that we all can get back to business. Until we curb the spread of this thing, we're going to remain closed until, the curve flattens or starts to decline. So it's going to take all of us working together. But I want you to know that your chambers are here doing everything they can in their power to help you get the local economy started again. While we're promoting staying at home for your business, maybe reset some priorities, set some new goals, figure out what the new normal is going to be for your business. Do some online educational opportunities that maybe you've been putting off because you're too busy running a business. Take this time and clean up your email list or make personal phone calls to your customers. Maybe up your game on social media, or do some have an online store that maybe you haven't had before. But also I would encourage you as a business to reach out to your peers and share ideas. This is the time to pull together as businesses and not be so much in competition with each other. I know I've seen a lot of that in our downtown restaurants here and how they're collaborating and helping each other. But on a personal level, maybe you get out and you exercise some more and renew some of those New Year's resolutions that you kind of gave up on after the first couple weeks of the year. Have grace for others, and take out as often as you can. I love that I'm not having to cook as much right now because we do take out almost every night. And I talked to 2 different restaurants today, and they're really excited about the amount of takeout orders they're getting. It's not their normal level of restaurant revenue, but people are really starting to do that, and people are tipping big, and those servers need that right now. But I'm going to say Bastrop County is strong. We have been through floods and fires, and we're going to come out better and stronger on the other side of this thing called COVID-19. And so for now, I want you to be sure to stay informed, to stay home, and just stay safe right now.
Thank you, Becky. Gina?
So yeah, I agree. I mean, there's so many emotions going on, and it's just a challenging time, and we're all over the place. I mean, we have some members that it is really difficult for them. It's stressful, it's overwhelmed. Then we have some members that you may be one of those essential businesses and things are busy for you. I mean, you're dealing with a whole different set of problems that maybe some of us aren't. And so it's crazy, it's emotional, there's just so much going on. And I think what I would stress, we're all in a different position, so many of us, and what your decision for you may be different than what somebody else is doing, and that's really hard. I think some of us are going to have to make some really hard decisions, and you may be one of those businesses that have to lay off people, and maybe for you it makes more sense not to take out more debt and to put yourself in a position that you may not be able to recover from. And you may have to close and reopen. We don't know, but I think we can get caught up and feel there's just so much emotional stress. And I had a member contact me and said, Gina, I appreciate all of those things that you're sending out, but I'm just so overwhelmed. There's no way I can do an online store right now. There's no way I can listen to all those webinars that you're sending out. I'm teaching my kids at school. I've got all these other issues on, and I think as Becky said, we just need to extend some grace and to be understanding that we're all in different places, and it's it's a tough time. And to be honest, it really kind of stinks for a lot of us, and whether you're on either side of it. But I'm also encouraged just by the hope that we have. I mean, the creativity that I've seen some of our businesses do, and the delivery for retail, and our restaurants doing family style dining, and those restaurants joining together. I thought a great example in businesses was, the neighbors in Bastrop, and they've teamed up with some farmers, and they've teamed up with the bakery, and they're doing these boxes and just some creative things. And so I think there's a lot of hope there. It's been encouraging and inspirational to see people join together. But I think, again, we just have to be sensitive and extend a lot of grace during this time.
Thank you, Gina. And I'm not sure I could put it any better than those of you have already done. I would certainly echo what Becky said about really think about some online options for your businesses. If there was ever a time to think about diversifying your income streams, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to think about that, your grandma's recipe that you brag about and you sell in your store. Maybe now's the time to really consider doing some online. I certainly understand. I've spoken to many of our local Smithville members. I've had lots of teary conversations with people on the phone, and we've Zoom called each other and Facebooked each other and talked about what this all means for our future. Those of us that have been in business here in Smithville for a long time, we've certainly seen things come and go and the ups and downs here, but we're going to survive this. We're going to come out on the other side stronger for it. And as also a business owner myself on Main Street, I understand what our members are going through. I understand how scary it is. But we are here. The Smithville Chamber has been here for 97 years. We're not going anywhere. We're here to support you and to take care of you and do what we can to help you. So reach out to us if you need us. I'm going to take just a moment to thank today's podcast sponsor, Farmers Insurance, Scott Saunders agent. Thank you, Scotty, for always being here and supporting what we do. I'm going to end today on our final question. This group, also known as the BEST team, Bastrop, Elgin, Smithville, Texas, has worked together in a cooperative way for many years on programs and initiatives that help businesses all over Bastrop County. Let's talk a little bit as a group about the BEST program and what we have been and can continue to do to help Bastrop County businesses, especially as we start thinking about recovery. And I'm just going to open this up. Whoever wants to start, please feel free to do so.
Well, Gina is the longest tenured member of the BEST group. Yes, a round of applause for Gina. The BEST group was started by Peggy Wallachek when she was the judge in Bastrop County. And she really wanted more unity in the county between the three cities, and started this once a month breakfast group that has continued now for over 25 years. And the beauty of it is that we do work as a team. Certainly we have our own challenges and our own competitiveness sometimes in areas, but we share so much commonality. And the BEST group, it really is an example. I'm involved in it because of the marketing side primarily. We've done lots of cooperative events together all over the state promoting Bastrop County. And we'll be back out doing those again. We don't know exactly what it'll look like, exactly how it'll be, but the program that I manage, the Explore Bastrop County program, is a direct result of the teamwork in marketing that the communities in the county have put together. So it's an exciting basis for us. I think it's given us communication skills that we wouldn't have had otherwise joining us together.
Okay.
I would agree.
Gina, how would you like to reply to that?
Well, I think Adina summed it up well. And I mean, for me, I'm just so appreciative of this group and appreciative of all of you that's here today. Just so much information just in this past month. So much information has gone out, and we couldn't do it without each other. I mean, we've all kind of taken a role, and I mean, I can count on Becky setting up a webinar, or April setting this up. There's so many things that we do together, and it's just been so helpful. And I think we're a perfect example of, and maybe a challenge, and the challenge to our members to do what we're doing, work together, and maybe we will see some more how we cooperate in a county. Those businesses, like I mentioned, the businesses that are bringing together all businesses from all three of the cities and pulling that together and doing some unique things. And so I think we just continue to work together, and I just can't say enough how much I appreciate this group.
Thank you, Gina. Becky?
I'm probably the newest one, or the newest transplant to Bastrop County. And I want to tell you that this kind of cooperative, coordinated spirit is not, it's very unique. It's not common in other counties. I can tell you my experience in a neighboring county, that they probably would not hand the other city a bucket of water if they were on fire. And here, I remember, because of that job, I knew Gina. And so when I applied for the job here, Gina was one of the first people I called, just because she was a peer and a colleague and somebody I respected so much. And she told me about the BEST organization. And that was very enticing to me, because we are a rural county. And so it's important more than ever with COVID-19 that we work together as a county and not individual communities. So yes, I am just the recipient and very blessed to be a part of an organization that's been going on for literally decades. And so I'm thankful for the foresight of previous leadership to organize something like this.
Thank you, Becky. And I certainly would agree with that as well. I will say I'm a new transplant to Bastrop County, because I've only lived here about 20 years. So that's just a couple of minutes in the Bastrop County time. But
I've only been here 5.5. So
there you go. I think the longest lived person here in our group would be Adina, who was born and raised in Smithville. And Gina, you've been in Elgin a long time, right? So
Years.
Yes. And so all of those years combined together of experience has helped us as we do our jobs for our communities and for our businesses, because we understand our rural communities and what we can do here as our chambers to help our different businesses and our members. Here in Smithville, it's been very helpful to us to partner with our other communities. We all work together. We have sponsored some webinars during this time, and we have more to come, which you'll be hearing announcements about that soon. So as we continue and as we work towards recovery, I'm sure we'll all continue to partner together to help our various members throughout the whole county, not just in our own communities, but throughout the whole county. I want to thank all of you, Adina, Becky, and Gina, for appearing with us today for our Smithville Chamber Chatter podcast. Thank you all very much for being here. We invite our listeners to join us next week, when our guest will be Cheryl Burns, Superintendent of Smithville Independent School District. If you'd like to listen to us each Wednesday at noon, go ahead and join us here on Facebook or subscribe on Spotify. And again, thank you all for being here, and thank you all for listening.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Smithville Chamber Chatter with your host, April Daniels. If you'd like to be a guest, email us at april.daniels@smithvilletx.org. Between now and our next episode, be sure to check out the Chamber's website at www.smithvilletx.org. Until then, we'll see you on Main Street.